I feel like I blame myself a lot. Like,
Yep.
I do feel like I see a lot of my limitations and in some of those areas that you've talked about today.
Do you feel blaming yourself is loving yourself?
No, it's not. And
So can you see that you have obviously an addiction to blaming yourself?
Yep.
So have you given much thought about what that addiction would be?
I feel like in blaming myself, I can avoid taking responsibility.
I agree.
And I feel like in blaming myself, I avoid feeling a lot of my rage about.
So you avoid feeling specific emotions that you really don't want to feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've started to really take a little bit more responsibility, I feel, about that.
Yep.
And I can avoid really feeling my fears.
I agree.
Of the truth about myself, I feel like, and my fears of what I'm afraid I won't be able to achieve, or that
You see, I don't know if I agree with this, where you
Okay.
think your fears are.
Okay.
It's like you're blaming yourself for your fears, but the reality is you're terrified of other people's opinions.
I am really.
And so that's not afraid of yourself.
Yeah.
That's afraid of what other people think of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I am.
And you're terrified of Spirit's opinions of you.
Yep.
Yeah, which means you're terrified of them and what they'll do if you actually don't blame yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you see, a lot of the times what I feel people finish up doing when they blame themselves, blaming themselves is an avoidance of other issues.
Yeah.
Blaming yourself is an avoidance of personal responsibility, for example. Right?
Yeah.
When you blame yourself, you ironically get to not take responsibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Blaming yourself also is a way of preventing how you feel about yourself. So in other words, preventing shame, preventing those kind of emotions that make you feel terrible about yourself. But blaming yourself, the main reason why we blame ourselves, as I've talked to you about before, is because we get away from other people blaming us when we blame ourselves.
Yeah.
In other words, we avoid the attack of other people by blaming ourselves. So that's the addiction.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is to look at the addiction of blaming yourself. So I don't feel that blaming yourself is actually so much of an emotion as an addiction to get away from other emotions that you don't feel you can cope with.